You at home, I'm talking to you. Okay, I'm talking to you. If you think I'm just speaking generically, I'm not. I'm talking to you. If you see this video and you are not subscribed to this channel, I will find you. Okay? I will find you. And it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good. Ask him. Ask him. He refused to subscribe. What was that bullshit right there? What is this absolute garbage that is happening with this dog on set right now? This is just an absolute, it's like a bratwurst of a nose is what that is. Everyone, let's talk about it. Let's talk about this, which is how much do you need for a down payment? We get asked this a lot. It's one of the most common questions that anyone in the real estate world gets asked. Maybe I'm exaggerating that just a little bit, but whatever, it is a common question. So let's just say it's the most common. How much do you need for a down payment? And the answer is, it depends, okay? There is no fixed rule on this. There's no set in stone number. There's some options. And anytime I have a friend of mine who's a longtime Green Beret, retired now, and very, very sharp guy. And anytime I ask him anything that's a good question, the answer is always, it depends. He never has a straight answer, and it drives me nuts, but it's what I expect of him now. And the answer to this question, how much do I need for a down payment? It depends. It depends on your circumstances. So I will tell you this, one of the biggest misconceptions is that you need 20% for a down payment. And that really, chances are, right? Everything's, variables, but chances are that is not the case for you. I will be the first to tell you what got me to buy my first home, which is when I moved to Utah from Southern California, because Southern California housing prices, hey, I was just not in a tax bracket that I was going to be able to buy anything that I wanted. Moved to Utah, and I was not really planning on buying a home. And then a buddy, he was like, his dad or something was a real estate agent. He's like, you could probably buy a house for like 3% down. And I was like, really? Like it was music to my ears. It was like, really? I could buy a house for not 20% down? Because if you think about it, right, you got a $300,000 house, I use that example a lot, 300 grand, just because it's a pretty common kind of, roughly average home price in the country. You go, man, 20% of 300 grand, what is that, 60,000? I mean, $60,000, that's a chunk of cash. Like, probably the average person does not have $60,000 in just liquid cash in the bank on top of closing costs and buying some new furniture and all that. So, 20% is great. One of the things that it will help you do is avoid paying PMI. So PMI is private mortgage insurance. And typically, if you're putting down less than 20%, not always, but typically if you're putting down less than 20%, you will pay some monthly mortgage insurance, right? So on my house, I think it was about $150 a month, if I remember right. I'm pretty close if I'm off, right? But it was about $150 a month. So you go, okay, I've got an extra $150 a month on my payment, but I put down, I think it was 3% of my house. I put down 3%, which I have, right? Versus 20%, which I don't have, right? So I go, I'm not worried about the $150 a month, but the 60 grand, that's the sticking point for me. So I would rather pay that $150 a month to avoid having to pay that 60 grand out of pocket, right? So you kind of see how this goes. So PMI is, again, one of those things, there's a lot of variables there, but it will drop off once you hit 22% of your principal balance on your mortgage being paid, right? So if you, I don't know what that would be, but if you bought a $300,000 house, hey, once you've gotten to the point of about, I don't know, I guess it'd be 64 grand, 65 grand, somewhere in there that you have in equity, that PMI would drop off. Typically, I think you have to call up your service provider and request that it drop off, and then they will drop it off. So if you put down less than 20%, you can also, a client of ours did this recently. I didn't even know until I was talking to the lender about this, and he was like, yeah, so-and-so client put down, I don't know, I think he put down about 5%. And instead of having the monthly mortgage insurance, he basically just paid it up front. Basically, he just bought out the PMI. So that might be another option for you. I will concede, hey, look, I'm not a lender, so don't ask me for lender advice because I'm just going to point you in the direction of a lender. But apparently, you can buy out PMI on a loan up front, which is pretty cool. I don't think, at least I'm not aware of any of our other clients doing that, but shit happens behind the scenes that I don't know about. You can, if you buy a house, let's just say you buy a house with like 5% down or something, and you're paying that monthly mortgage insurance, you can request that that PMI get dropped off, but you're probably going to need to do an appraisal. So if you're like, man, I've paid down some of the balance, right, on my mortgage, but the house has actually grown in value enough that I think I've got at least 20% in equity in my house, you can probably have your, whatever, Chase Bank or Wells Fargo or whatever, request, hey, I'd like to get my mortgage insurance dropped off. And they'll go, okay, cool. We're going to need to do an appraisal to verify that you do have that much equity in it. Again, not a guarantee, but that's a likely scenario that would happen that I would suggest if you think you're in your boat, you should explore that with your service provider, with your, your Chase, your Wells Fargo, whoever your mortgage is with. Little tricky if you have an FHA loan, your PMI does not drop off if you put down, less than 10%, right? So I think if you have an FHA loan, you put down at least 10%, it can drop off. But if you put down less than 10%, that PMI will never drop off. Again, there's nuance in all this kind of stuff because you could refinance out of an FHA loan into a conventional loan, and then at that point it could drop off. So again, I know I'm probably being a little not clear here, but that's because it's not super clear. Like there's a lot of different routes here. What I can tell you is it's case-by-case scenario. I've seen people do 0% down, but then they wind up with like a second mortgage that they have that covered the down payment. There's a lot of nuance, guys. There's a lot of nuance. I'm not trying to confuse you. I'm just saying, hey, the world of lending with mortgages, it's fairly complex, and there's different routes out there. So I've seen 0% down, I've seen 3, 5, 10, 20, some people pay cash. So it's all situational dependent. You might be someone, for example, that goes, okay, I've got 20% that I could put down. Let's just say that that's $60,000. You go, well, I could put the $60,000 down, but maybe I could put down 10% and my loan at 10% wouldn't require me to have mortgage insurance. So I'm not eating that monthly cost, but now I'm putting down 30 grand instead of 60 because I would rather leave that other 30 grand in the bank for a rainy day fund, or roll that other 30 grand that I was going to use to get to 20%. I could roll that other 30 grand into stocks, or I'm looking to invest into a business or whatever it may be. You might decide that, hey, look, I'd rather put down less to have more liquid cash in my account, or invest it into other things that I think are going to be more profitable in the long haul. So again, it's all case by case. I don't really care. Like the truth is, when we're going through the process with the client, we're going through their loan. It's not that I don't care as in like, well, I don't care what you do. It's not like that. I'm just saying, I don't care. Like it's your money. You do what's best for you. I'm here to help you find the house and buy the house. I'm not here to do your loan. That's why we have lenders. So if you want to do a certain scenario that works better for you, cool, no problem. Keep me in the loop so that I understand how to structure our deal. But beyond that, hey, it's your cash. Do what is ever the best use of that cash for you. So that's, again, indirect, but it's about the best clear answer that I can give you. I have no idea if you guys are catching any of this show that's happening down here right now, but it's not safe for work, right? It's not safe for work. NC-17's dog stuff happening over here. So anyway, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Drop us a comment. We are going to keep powering through these early days of the channel, and it means a lot to us if you guys ever want to repost, share any of this stuff to try to bring some more subs into the channel. That's awesome. If you ever need real estate help, we have that linked below. It's the 1911 Syndicate site. You can go in there, learn a little bit about what we do, but if you actually need anything, best thing, message us through the site. Just send us a contact form through the site. We see them. We always see them that way, and that way we can be sure to get back to you. It's my David Letterman. Everyone, I hope it's been a good week for you, and you have a nice weekend. I guess it is, I don't know, I guess we just got off of Labor Day or whatever. I lose track of when these come out. So whatever the case is, enjoy the rest of your day, night, life, all of that good shit, and we will see you guys soon.